Welcome everyone into this guide. Today we're gonna be talking about Split, in particular how you should play on this map, how you should defend, attack, and different executes and different distribution you should do. For those who don't know, I'm Daniel, my in-game name is Leonard, and I've been 100 top 50 Radiant and I've played on a professional tier 2 level. Now, let's jump right in. So first, let's explain Split, both defense and attack. So when it comes down to Split, in defense, what's really important is keeping the B heaven area, and to keep that you need to have to fight the mid area, right? Vent is not really important, so it's really important that you keep mid and you fight for B heaven area, because if you don't have B heaven area, then it's really easy for the attackers to split up B and get into the site, and really difficult for you guys that are staying side to hold both entrances at once. So B heaven is really important. So vent is not as important. Maybe you can just leave a trap here or make sure to check it every once in a while to make sure that no one's lurking through vent. In defense on A, it's really important to fight for A side, don't just leave it, and also fight for ramp. But the important thing is that you keep this area right here, right? Because if the enemies don't have this area right here, they cannot split. They cannot go from heaven and A main. So it doesn't really change much even if they get ramp, right? So fighting here really aggressively, it's something that you definitely can do to search for entry frags or when you want to play aggressive with your teammates. It's not something that you have to do, okay? The important thing is that you keep this area right here so that when they push up, they cannot go through heaven and they're just going to be going through main, and the guys who are going to be side, it's going to be much easier for them to kill, right? Now, in the attack, you kind of want to do the opposite, right? So you want to be careful about mid. You want to definitely having traps here and maintaining the map control, which on this map is really important. You want to try to have some lurks on A, really important. If you guys play a default, to try to have a lurk here, try to get some pressure on A side, even if you're not going there, to don't make the defense rotate as easily to B or vice versa. Apart that, really important to keep mid, try to get mid and maintain this space. You can push both sides, A and B, both are good. When you go B, I suggest you to split more. I think it's better to split to get into the site. If you have some direct ults as breach ult or raid ult or stuff like that, then you can just leave a lurker to go mid after the plant, and you can just go with the breach ult on or fade ult, whatever ult that might help you guys take side. Same thing goes on A. When you go A side as attackers, you don't really have to go ramp, as I said, because again, it's really difficult. What you can do is, for example, if you have a jet or waylay, dash updraft into heaven and try to get heaven from there. You see, because then you fight for this area, and this is the area that we care the most about, right? Important thing is when you get A side without getting ramp is that someone stays back here or here to check ramp, right? Because the problem is gonna be is when you get A side and you plant here, and if you don't have anyone here to fight for this area to check your back, is that on the retake the defenders are gonna be able to push from all three sides, and you guys on protecting the bomb are gonna be needing to fight all three of them, which is much more difficult than just fighting heaven and CT because ramp is covered by your teammate. So now that we know this, guys, let's start talking about the best composition you should be playing in this map, in my opinion. Okay, so in my opinion, the best composition is definitely Fade. Fade is really strong with this map, and with the current meta and the nerfs that all the initiator got, her two prowlers are really powerful. Also, Cypher, even if he got nerfed a lot, I still think he's probably the best on this map because he can easily get information with his camera, he can deny information with his cages in attack, he gets a lot of value in attack, I think. So I think still that he's the best agent on this map. You can also play Chamber, it's not that big of a problem. You can play more aggressive, you can fight for your TP, trying to get some more kills in the attack side, and important is to leave a trap. If you go, for example, mid or B, you leave a trap on A. If you go mid and A, you leave a trap on B, right? Always maintain map control on this map, guys. Then we have a smoker. I think Omen is the best choice here. I would not definitely go Brimstone. I would not go Clove, you can't go Clove because she's good in ranked. I still think that the best is Omen because he's more versatile, he's better in defense, so he, in my opinion, is better. As a duelist, I think Raids is probably the best one here. I really do like Wele as well though. I think Wele might be really good on this map because of her double dash. She can go here, she can go here, she can double dash, even help her and double dash into side here, right? There are a lot of spaces and verticality points where she can be really useful with her double dash, and her ult also is not bad to get outside, right? Not bad at all. So I would honestly go either her or Raids. The only thing is missing is a flasher, and I would go Breach. He's probably the best flasher on this map. Sky is not bad, but if you have Fade, you don't really need the Sky because you don't need the dog. If you don't have Fade, then I would definitely go Sky over Breach because you kind of need the information, right? If you have the Fade, I would just go Breach. Also, you can just go a second duelist instead. If you go Sky instead of Fade, you can go Reyna, you can go Iso, you can go Yoru, okay? All that type of stuff. The important is that you have either Sky or Breach, okay? K you can also do, but those two are better. Either Sky or Breach, and then depending from what you got here, you either go Fade or a second duelist, even Sage, something that you can do. For example, if you have Chamber, you want to have a little, you struggle more in defense because Chamber is not as strong as in defense. Sage is something that you can do that can help you out as well. For this video though, I'm just gonna be taking this comp right here, which as well, the things that I'm gonna be showing you guys with this comp is something that you can definitely replicate to other comps, maybe just change a little bit the abilities, right? But the general idea is the same. So let's start from the attack and let's start with the default round. For those who don't know, a default round is a round where you, in the first 5 to 10 seconds, don't commit to anything. You wait for the enemies to make the mistake, you just maintain map control, and then based off information you get, based off the kills you get, you decide where to go, you take decisions, and you play the round, okay? So a perfectly played default round on Split, in my opinion, will look something like this. Cypher definitely on A with a trap on a bar round, okay? With a trap on B, Omen covering B, and these guys all three playing on mid. So it will be 1-3-1. You can also try to do 2-2-1 or 1-2-2, but probably this will be the best. Depending, you can add one player to B side or A side depending how much aggressive those guys want to play here and try to get more space or no. Generally, this is probably the best default you can do on Split. One of those guys can definitely go to the right side. Fade should go here, and will be the best default you can get. On A, Cypher can do a ton of things like this trap. Then he can come right here to get more information, to see if somebody's peeking. Then with a lineup, he can cage A main and ramp, right? And by having these two cages, he can deny information to the defense, and he can either take the space or just put phantom pressure. Phantom pressure is when you make basically fake pressure. You make pressure without being them. So this mock is making pressure to A even if you are not there. Okay, that's phantom pressure basically. So this is why I think he's still better than Chamber or maybe Veto on this map. So with these lazy lineups, you can get phantom pressure. You can also try to get a lurk here, right? Get some information who's playing A with the camera, right? If they're pushing A, you can just leave. If nothing happens, again, you don't have to play here, but you can try to find an opening, maybe try to pick ramp, see if somebody's here or no, and then maybe you want to leave just to make sure they don't really know. You can activate a cage and then rotate to mid, for example, because you guys got a peek on mid, or because you saw many people on A and or they've seen you and you think it's better not to risk it and you just want to rotate. Okay, then you can also activate the second one maybe, and that's it. That's what Cypher's gonna do on A. On mid, you guys are just gonna be prowling with Fade, smoking vents, right, and taking the mid control. You can stun the breach right here, like this when you get closer, even here. The best stun would probably be from here, that you stun the whole way here. The problem with the stun is that you have to be distant from the raids. If you have like an idea of taking it together and maybe Cypher's with you, and he can add the number on mid, then you can stay here and stun, and after you do it, just run B, because running mid will take you too long, right? But if Cypher is not there, I suggest you just go with raids, and once you get guys closer, you can just flash for her. You can flash on this corner, you can flash on this corner. Is all good, right? Also, you can, once you get closer again, Prowler. Okay. In the meantime, while you guys take him mid, Cypher, depending if he got space, you can try to get into vents and try to get ramps. If he does not have space, he left. The best idea from here is to go towards B and try to split it up. You can do it with Cypher running from A to Omen. In the meantime, on B, Omen is not playing too aggressive. You can just hold, you can jiggle pick, depending on who you're playing against. If you're playing versus Chamber, or you're playing, they like to be aggressive, the enemies, they know, they have Operator, then you don't really want to pick it. You can try to jump pick it, for example, or just hold it, right, just to maintain the space, or wait some time, and you heard him leave, or you think he left, then you can try to pick and pre-aim, right, to get the space. You don't want to get too aggressive, just maintain the space, make sure they don't push you, and that's it. Once your team is close, they're ready, if you have another smoke, you smoke here, okay, and then when your Cypher is with you, obviously you flash side, and then you try to pick. You can pick, and then you ideally with your teammates on mid, once they have B heaven, this is when you start pushing, and this is when you start splitting out B. As I said before, when you talk about pushing A side, what's really important is that you guys try to fight for this area, right? If you don't fight for this area, it's okay, but at that point you don't even have to take ramp. What's important is you just going out together from A main, okay? So the way I will do it is Omen smokes here like this, count of fade up here to reveal side, breach flash close right here so you can get the space, pick after the flash, satchel into side, so breach flash you can pick, nade elbow, and then satchel into side, right, and take the side space. Also what you can do is you still nade elbow, then you pick carefully here, you clear under, and then from here you satchel into the side. You can get up here to check the corners, positions, careful about this position, right? Breach after the flash, I suggest to either run up and flash side again, right here or here, this is probably better, or stays behind and stun like this, right, once she gets here, right, so this all is stun when she pushes side. And you can also aftershock this area right here. From here you can also aftershock to help her out even better. These people are going out. Also, if breach doesn't stun, what you guys can do easily is paranoia, which is probably even better. So breach follows her up and you just paranoia here, so when you go out it's really easy for you, for the raids, to take the side. After that, Omen can just stay ramp and check the ramp, or Cypher can stay ramp and check the ramp, and Omen tries to follow you up, guys, and help you get side. Where do I plant? You can plant, if you have everything, the best plant is probably here. They might spam you from heaven, so be careful, but this plant is really open. You can see it from here, you can see it from heaven, you can see it basically, this is a retake, you can see it from every spot, and it's really difficult to defuse for the defenders. Apart this one would probably be the best, because again you can see it from ramp, so in case you guys end up dying inside, the guys who stayed ramp can still see it and can still try to kill the diffuser. Those are the best two plants. After plant, I suggest one guy to stay here, check the elbow, one guy can stay behind TV, one can stay under, and ideally two main. If you died, then just to stay here, try to trade each other. The guys who stay here, he does not show himself, because if you show yourself, then they just spam you, okay? So you do not show yourself, and this is how you play. You try to fight for the city all together. This guy help the guy with heaven. Once he gets pushed from heaven, this guy helps him with that, and one stays here. Now that we know how we have to push A, let's talk about maybe A split. A split is something that you can do, guys, but I don't really suggest it. I think it's really difficult to do. In case you still want to do it, then two guys, these two go A main, they smoke mid for you here. You try to take mid with Prowler, then you can flash inside vent for the raids to take the space. And once when you're taking vents, these guys try to get more aggressive with a cage, right? Try to get into ramp as well, because once you guys are gonna go out here, they will need your help. You will need here their help and have ramp control and fight for heaven. One of them should stay a little bit behind to check the back, like here, the other here, so you can still trade each other, but it's important to be careful about your back. And once you guys have this area and ramp, right, so you pushed up, Omen smokes here, then you guys end up pushing side from both spaces. Now let's talk about the B split. So I already said it a little bit before, but when we split B, we are just gonna be doing it directly. Cypher Omen here, these guys free here. What we're gonna do is just smoke, Prowler close, get closer. You can also boombot here to check if somebody is male. Breach can flash, he can also stun, right? A lot, if there are enemies, just flash for your teammates. Once you get closer here, you can aftershock this space, and then you can flash right for your teammates to push. When these guys are taking mid, the guys on B, in the meantime, should be trying to get B main with a camera of Cypher. They can help each out. Also, someone is gonna smoke for them here because it's really helpful. Important thing is make sure you're close to each other and you can trade each other. So ideally, if they have taken this space and you guys have B main, this is where you both try to push out basically at the same time, so the guys inside die and have no opportunity of just fighting one entrance at a time. Yeah, this is crucial. Also, when you're here, Wraith can double satchel side to confuse the guys. Omen can flash side, really good. Also, if you see your teammates struggling at the beginning with taking B heaven, Omen can flash for them from here. You can flash. It's not ideal, but it's still gonna help them. Now, when it comes down to B split, again, I said it's better if you do it when you have some ults. If not, I will just opt to do a B split instead of a B push. In case someone picks you, just punish him. You can just, as soon as the barriers pop, you can just hold this with your teammate. Your teammate to do a high-low, so he can crunch in front of you and you stay still behind him, right? Just cover this corner. If they pick you, you just kill the guy, and then if they see you or if you get a kill, you instantly rush up. Watch out about this corner. And then here, how it happens is Cypher can stay for a lurk mid. Okay, he can lurk mid. Doesn't have to be with you. Omen is gonna smoke Evan and CT. Breach is gonna stun right here. Omen is also gonna flash that. Fade is gonna throw a Hound. Right here is okay. If he has a lineup, it's fine. If he doesn't, right here it's a good Hound to clear this space. Here, this is also a good Hound. Then once we have all this, you can either nade there because Breach is gonna aftershock this area, ideally. And you can also nade there with the Seas of Fade. Seas plus Raids nade. After your teammate's abilities, you have to go. If your team decided to go, then you have to go. Don't be scared, okay? Because if you don't go as a Raids, then nobody will go at the end, okay? Really important. Let's also quickly talk about the after plant. The best plant is either this one or this one is the best plant, much more open. But if you don't have the space, the smoke is about to end, you're scared of them killing you through the smoke, then just plant here, which is fine, it's safer. This is the best one. If you have this plant, you can play off site, you don't even need to play on, you just wait for Cypher because he can see from heaven this spot. The Cypher on mid, by the way, he plays low, he does not want them to see him. If you get spotted, just leave, you don't stay. Just shift your way up into here, right? And once you're here, just wait for the rotation, wait for your teammates to plant. If you see that your teammates have planted and you heard people rotate, that's when you start to play. You start to play, ideally killing guys or just killing the diffuser in case your team fails to hold site, okay? If you see your team struggling on going out, then you can start playing earlier, try to find an opening kill on mid. And if you do that, then just go back, try to understand what you want to do with your team. Do you want to seal end up B? Do you want to rotate to A? Do you want to try to split B, right? So after you get a kill, just chill, don't instantly rush out, don't instantly panic. See what is the best decision you guys can take as a team and do that, okay? The after plant positions, definitely one can stay here, two can stay backside in my opinion, and one can stay Evan. If the spike is planted this way, then you can two guys stay B main, do something like this, but this is probably the best thing, or two here as well. If you had the opportunity to push up as well, something you can do, push up here, just make sure you get traded with your teammates. The goal of the guys after the plant, of the attackers after the plant, is just to buy time so the diffuser don't have time to defuse, or buy time for the Cypher to make a play with the lurk. Now that we have discussed that, let's talk about the defense, how you should play, what is the best distribution here. So in my opinion, the best distribution is Cypher on A, Omen on B. The only reason I'm putting Cypher on A is because Omen is just stronger at holding B instead of holding A. You can also play Cypher on B, which is okay. But the problem with this is that on A, then you might have some problems with them going out, because Omen, it's not as easy for him as for Cypher to hold A side, and also Cypher can trap ramp, trap here, right? So what he can do is put his trap right here, and what does this make is that you guys don't have to play vent anymore, right? You just play B heaven, and if they get vent, you have a trap, and that's the only thing you need, because as I said, this is the most important space. Vent not, ramp not, okay? Even if they get vent and ramp, they cannot still push side through that, right? So it's not important. So Cypher A, Omen B, Raids B heaven. Fate can play either A or B as well. I like to play the initiator with the duelist always close. The reason Fate can kinda play both sides is because from here she can instantly count over B, but she can also do it from A. So let's just do this, okay? 2, 2, 1. This is the best distribution. What we instantly want to do is count A to see, not instantly, but like after 5-10 seconds, if you have no noise, if you hear no steps, if you have no information, to see if somebody's A. Cypher can place his setup side, whatever he wants to do, with his camera here. This is probably the best camera he can do. With the Cypher camera like somewhere here, which is one of the best camera he can do in my opinion, because he can see a main, he can see someone passes. I think if you do it actually a little bit lower, it might be even better, because yeah, you can see vent as well. You see, again, the most important part is this, not ramp. So this is one of the best cameras you can do in my opinion. Then you can also cage main, you can throw a cage here and just trap either. Let me see if I can. No, this is probably the best trap we can do then, just to make sure nobody gets out of vents. And with your camera you check this space, okay? Or you can trap here directly, right? Put the trap right here, and then with your camera you check vents, right? You have to be careful with it. Also you can maybe double trap. Another thing you might try to do, again as I said, is Cypher on B with Omen A. Fade stays here. It stays the same, just with Omen on A. Cypher is set up on B this time. Cypher can also trap B heaven, and this time you maybe want to play a little bit more towards vents, right? Because you kind of, since Omen is not as strong as Cypher, you kind of want to have more people on A in case they do push side. With Omen I suggest to play elbow, try to maybe flash once they try to go out, right? Obviously smoke, and try to get a kill. If you get one, try to get out. Can also try to do the same thing from here and then get out again. Just don't fight too much for side, try to get one kill, and in case just TP out and retake it together with your teammates, right? In case you see that you cannot hold them down. If you can stop them, maybe you flash, you get 2 kills or more, or you see they're not pushing anymore, then stay side, obviously. On split on defense, you never want to try to just keep your space. Always try to either get some information with fade, try to boom bot mid, try to get some information to rotate based off where the enemies are before they end up executing the side, right? Because if you rotate only when they execute, then it's too late already, okay? With this, the guide for split is ended. If you have any questions, guys, comment down below. I'll try to answer each one of them, and I'll see you guys in the next guide.